Thank you. One of the good things about not having any amplification is if I say something really stupid, hopefully not many will hear me. And the other thing is I'm looking around for my PowerPoint slides. So if anyone would like to act out the Digital Economy Act with flowcharts on boards, that'd be great. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how much you know about the Digital Economy Act, but it's quite amazing that it even exists. The idea of it was Lord Mandelson's in the previous government. Anyone remember him? Get the audience on your side. Common enemy. Yeah, we can all have a boo at that. And it is now the law, and it kind of sneaked through without many of us quite realizing what was happening. Luckily we have Jim Kilman, who is a professional and expert lobbyist against it, who's going to speak to us in a minute. But I'm just going to do a bit of a rant on behalf of the digital industry, and I hope you'll find something in it that you agree with. The idea is to protect copyright owners against infringement, which sounds like a good idea. The problem is that it was rushed through very quickly. It's got a few very weird clauses in it, not least to the fact that in theory people can have their internet connections cut off by being seen to have infringed the terms of the Digital Economy Act, and also websites can be blocked if they are deemed to be encouraging illegal file sharing and downloading. You get to a situation where someone that controls an internet connection in an open space or public space like a library or university could actually fall foul of the act if one or two students, or maybe a granny in someone's house, download something that they apparently shouldn't. And the penalties, as I say, are either internet throttling, which is a lovely expression, meaning they can take your bandwidth down a bit, or even disconnection. And in theory that so-called technical solution isn't going to happen until you've offended 3 times. But you know, the fact that it's now law makes us think that this thing has kind of been sneaked through, and what are we going to do about it? In fact, today, just today, it's been announced that BT and TalkTalk are going to challenge the Act in the High Court. So they must have heard we were having this debate this evening. As I say to Jay, it'd be nice if it happened tomorrow after this debate, and then we'd know that we'd caused it. But that is quite interesting because it means that they're resenting the fact that they're in the role of bad guys. If one of their customers is deemed to have infringed the Act, they will be instructed to terminate their internet connection. And TalkTalk in particular have said they don't really want to be in that role, thank you very much. Not very good customer service, I think they're feeling. Particularly if it's not fair, or if there's been some misunderstanding, or someone's had their account hacked into. So there are all kinds of holes in it. And you know, BT also is saying that while they defend the rights of copyright owners, they think the measures are draconian and unfair and liable to have miscarriages of justice. So I think there's every opportunity for us to do something about this wrong legislation. You might ask how it ever got to be the law, and it all happened in April, and there was a bit of a distraction going on in the House of Commons called the general election campaign. And with our quaint system in the UK, there's something called the wash-up procedures. So after you've called a general election, there's a whole load of legislation that's obviously not going to have time to be properly debated. So rather than hold it for a proper debate in July, August, they say let's rush it all through quickly. So this thing got rushed through 3 hearings in a few days, and about 20 MPs only debated it. And of course the Labour government was sponsoring it, so they wanted to get it through. And it was eventually voted through by 189 to 47 against. And anyone who knows the House of Commons are about 650 MPs. So that was about a third of those MPs available and maybe obliged to vote didn't turn up, and they went through the lobbies and it was carried unanimously. It carried 189 to 47. The Lib Dems were very anti and have been a bit quieter since they formed part of the government. But it's a chance now for Nick Clegg to say, well, okay, enough is enough. Let's see if we can get this changed. And you know, that must be our next move, I feel. The Conservatives actually said we could have stopped this law, but we felt there was some good in it. Does that mean that they're happy with the stuff that wasn't good? Very strange. Anyway, in a minute Jim's going to tell us what we can do actively. I would urge you to consider lobbying your MP, which these days still means snail mail to someone who is your local MP and say this act is wrong. It's actually a threat to digital Britain. It was meant to defend people's rights, but it can actually cause a lot of problems. It can stop people providing Wi-Fi access because they're scared of getting prosecuted. It can block websites, and it can punish innocent people. And if you think about it, the people's right to the internet, which the previous government was defending, what's going to happen when people actually have their internet connection cut off because of some deemed infringement of the Act? A lot of European countries are saying that internet access is a basic human right, like water, sanitation, food, safety, security, and freedom of information, a chance to access the internet. What happens if the British government is seen to be cutting it off? Will other people follow suit? So that's all I have to say. Thank you for your attention. I'm going to pass over to Jim Kilman, who's going to tell us exactly how we can get this Act amended or repealed. Thank you.